Ok. Yeah. Estamos aquí con Mr. Graham Bonnet justamente preparando una entrevista y vamos a contar algunas cositas muy particulares para el noticiero con el caballero aquí presente. First of all, Graham,
yeah.
how are your impressions of the show yesterday?
I thought it was great. I mean, I was very surprised how many people were there. That's always the first thing I worry about. Please let there be some people. And a very enthusiastic crowd. We've had, I think we've done 4 or 5 rehearsals. We made a few mistakes, but we did very well. I was very, very pleased. The band was very happy, and all the people that we met after the show were very happy too. So I was thrilled. It was great. It was really good, and the band, Resta is one of the best bands I've played with.
I don't know exactly what you've been doing after we speak like last time, you know. You intended to do the shows with Alcatraz that you actually did, right? You reformed Alcatraz, so how is that going?
Well, our guitar player is Howie Simon, who used to play with Jeff Scott Soto and other people. My bass player is Tim Luce. He has played with like Roger Daltrey and a lot of people, and done a lot of sessions. Our drummer, who has just left us, unfortunately, because he's gone on tour with another guitar player, Jeff Bowders. He was our drummer, excellent drummer, and it's become kind of hard work to kind of play in America. Because of the way the economy is right now, to play with this band, but we're looking to get playing out of California and maybe into like the Midwest or the East Coast, which we're doing when we're going back. When I go back, I should say, we're playing out east in some clubs, some rock clubs, and we may also be doing the NAMM show in February, which is the big music show, as you know, in Los Angeles. We played there last year, so we're hopefully going to be doing that, but it's not confirmed. Uli Roth was supposed to be doing it as well. It's going to be Uli Roth, Alcatraz, and Michael Schenker. But Michael has. I don't know. Michael's gone somewhere into space. I'm not quite sure where he's gone, but I don't think he's going to be doing it. But it is now looking as though there is no interest in Alcatraz and Uli Roth playing at NAMM this year. I don't know. There still might be a chance we may do it, but it's looking a bit funny because of the economy. Yeah, we're asking for too much money.
And what about the recording?
Well, the recording, me and the guys have got songs we've had for 3 years, and we haven't started recording anything right now because I've been doing sessions with other bands. They've been doing sessions and things. We've had to make money because when you're recording, you make no money. You're at home. Everybody records at home now. Pro Tools, and here's your part. We'll email your parts to each other. That kind of thing. So what's been happening is we have a whole bunch of tunes ready to go. In fact, I got the lyrics in my suitcase upstairs. I was hoping just to finish some stuff while I was here, but I didn't really have time. And when I go back, I have, let's see, I've got 2 more sessions to do for 2 other albums. And actually I've got a whole album to do with some people have written it's like a rock musical, and it's called Lyrica, L-Y-R-A-K-A. Lyrica. Yeah, and it's going to be made into a, they hope, we'll see if they get financial help. It's going to be made into like a digital movie, like like a fantasy thing. So that's what I'm doing as well. I got that to do, as well as the Alcatraz. That's what I'm saying. I have no time to. I've got to make money. Basically, I've got to make money, and I get paid for doing this, for helping write the songs and whatever. I had this to do with them. I've got an Italian band song to do.
Is the Moonstore project again?
No, it's not.
No,
No, this is something.
not?
This is something different. I don't know what it's called.
Oh, this is the one with Veronica Freeman and who else?
And that's Lyrica.
Yes.
Yeah, Veronica is. Yeah, I've been talking to her. Yeah, yeah, she's nice.
She's
She's nice.
She's nice.
Very nice.
I like
nice.
it. Yeah, I like the way she sings. I said, me and you singing together, but it's going to be very loud. Yeah, so I spoke to her just before I came away. I spoke to her. I said, well, I'm looking. She's probably going to come and see me in LA in January or something. So, yeah, she's doing that. And but this other thing, this Italian thing, I'm not quite sure the name of the band. I can never remember. So anyway, when that is out of the way, hopefully we can get this the Alcatraz new album started. We have about 5 titles ready to go, all the melodies and the arrangements, and I've done all the words, you know. So I've got the ideas going, and I have been speaking also, which is something that Howie Simon is going to find out soon. I haven't had the nerve to tell him yet. But I have been speaking to Jennifer Batten, the guitar player, and she's a good friend of mine, and I've always wanted to work with her, and she wants to be in Alcatraz. So Jennifer and I have been in touch for the past 7 months, I think. She used to live right down the street from me, you know, 20 minutes away from where I live, but now she's moved out into where is she now? She's in. I'm not awake. I'll think in a minute. But she doesn't live in LA anymore. She's moved out, and so she's living away from me. But I keep in touch with her just about every day. She's just I think she'll be going home now for Christmas time. She was finishing in December the 16th or something. She's doing like college tours and guitar clinic things, you know. Demonstration, you know. Well, you know how she plays. I mean, she's fantastic. She blows me away.
I saw her with Jeff Beck.
Yeah, and she played with Jeff, and of course she knows Steve Vai, and you know,
and with Michael Jackson too.
Yeah, well, Michael Jackson, of course. That was her big thing for claim to fame.
And besides the guitar players of Alcatraz, the other members are still in the business. You've been Gary Shear.
No, I don't even know where they are. I left touch with them, years ago. They had a problem with me when I started going out with the band calling it Alcatraz, because they said, you can't go out and call yourself Alcatraz, you know. I said, well, why not? Well, we want to, you know, but wait a minute. I wrote the tunes. You know, Ingve's not in the band anymore. Steve's not in the band. They're still my tunes. I wrote these tunes. The other guys didn't. You know?
You keep active all these years, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think that, as far as I know, Jan Uvino, our drummer, I think he's given up the music business altogether. And I'm not sure about Gary. I think he has, but I think Jimmy Waldo is still kind of doing keyboard sessions and things like that, and odd projects here and there, like everybody else is, you know, to stay alive. You know, I'm not sure if he's working with Bob Kulick. You know, I don't know. But I haven't been in touch with them for years. Because well, only since, how can he use the name Alcatraz, you know, on the phone, you know, giving me a hard time, and then said, well, why not? Let's see what happens, you know, and would it cause, you know, create some kind of interest? And it did for a little while, you know, so I'm still using it.
Fantastic. So how all this came along, all this show with Walter came along? She proposed you to do the show over here, and it was like that.
Yeah, there's a girl from here who lives in the UK, who lives in England, and Anoa, her name is. I'm not sure what her second name is, but I think she's married to an English guy, I'm not sure. But she got in touch with me, and she was friends with Walter and Blanco, etc., and had done some business with them. And she got in touch with me and let me know who they were, and that Walter was a big fan of Rainbow, Alcatraz, blah blah blah, you know, all that kind of music, and he loves that kind of playing, and so that's how we got in touch. He just gave me his email, and I emailed him backwards and forwards, and I said, well, can I let me hear some of your stuff? I was like, oh yeah, this is cool, yeah. So he sent me a couple of tracks, and I said, yeah, I'd love to do it, and so that's how it happened. And as soon as I met him, it was like, you know, good. He's such a good guy, a really nice guy. They're all good guys, you know, but like instant friendship, because we both have the same mind, I think, you know.
So, did you make any further plans?
What, for this?
Yes, maybe to do it sometime again in the future.
Oh yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It'd be nice if Walter could bring the band maybe to America, if it's possible, if there's the money, or we come here and play some shows here with him, with Alcatraz and Blanca, and have Walter guest play on 3 or 4 songs or whatever he wants to do. And then see if we can work out something from there, where later on maybe we can play together in other parts of the world, you know, because that's what he wants to do. I know that. He wants to play outside of his own country more, you know. Oh, excuse my voice.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, too much shouting last night. Yeah, I mean that's what I'd love to do. That I think it'd be fucking fantastic. It'd be nice, a nice match, a nice, you know, Alcatraz and his band. It's a perfect match. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Wasn't complicated to do a new repertoire from somebody you didn't know before?
Yeah, but yeah. I'm not very good at that. It's like, ooh, fuck, you know. But last night we realised that we were running, you know, a bit short. We weren't going long enough. And Walter said to me and Greg, should we do the other Revista Blanca song? And Greg looked at me and said, we don't have the words, do we? I said, no. So we had to forget that, you know. But you know, I'd had these tracks for a while, but I've been busy doing other things and not really listened to them till I got here, you know. So I mean, I know them now, but I don't know the words, you know. So it'd be nice to do some of this stuff again, you know. As I said, you know, we could, if we did play together here again, you know, the bands could trade guitar players, you know, Alcatraz could play with the Revista Blanca, blah, 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 and do a, you know, like a fun thing, where we do some of their songs, they do some of ours, and we play together, whatever. You know, anything, just for fun, you know. I think it'd be good, because everybody is the same kind of players, and they all have the same kind of energy, you know. And we all love the same kind of music, you know, so. It'd probably be terrible, but I don't know.
I want to know if you consider yourself as a classic rock singer.
Oh, absolutely.
Are you sure? Because your solo works are quite completely different. I want to know your point of view of yourself.
I love R&B. I love pop music, R&B. My favourite bands are the Beatles, the Beach Boys, the Kinks from back then, the Who, that kind of. I like the Foo Fighters. That they're one of the more recent bands I like. But the, you know, I started up in a pop singer. You know, with my cousin in 1968 with the Bee Gees. You know, Barry Gibb and those guys started my career basically by writing a song for my cousin and I. Because my cousin played with the Bee Gees when he was a kid, when he was 11 or 12. And I've always loved R&B. I've always liked Stevie Wonder and Otis Redding and all those kind of people, you know. But for some reason, Richie Blackmore had heard some of my stuff, and they were looking for a singer, and I just suddenly found myself in the situation of being in a so-called heavy metal band, you know, at the time. And I heard the albums, I listened to them, I said, that's not me. I don't do that kind of thing, you know. There's Ronnie, you know, listening to Ronnie. It's a different world to me, you know. Because I like all the Beatles and, you know, Otis Redding and, you know, as I'm saying, and, you know, Little Richard, things like that. You know, that was my kind of thing. Not heavy metal as such, like Led Zeppelin, etc., you know, and all the other guys. Anyway, when I did the audition and they said, do you want the job? I went home and I still wasn't sure I wanted to do it, because I wasn't sure I fit right. You know, I had short hair and I didn't wear all the, you know, the flowing.
The sword. Don't forget the sword.
And the sword, you know, it wasn't me. I mean, yeah, like probably 10 years, you know, 10 years before that, my hair was here. I had very, very long hair, you know, and I was kind of like a hippie type, you know, no shoes and shit like that. And it just seemed completely wrong for me to be in the band apart from the music. The way I looked was wrong. I looked like bloody Elvis or something, you know. And so, anyway, I did the audition. They wanted me to do it. They called my manager in London and said, "Does Graham want to do it?" And I said to him, "No." I said, "No, it's not my thing." You know, he said.
At that point, you were released a couple of albums of solo records.
Yeah. Well, that's where Richie heard.
No Bad Habits.
That's why we did what do you call it? Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? Because one of the tracks I did was, you know, Tonight You're Mine, you know, and that was his favourite track. He loved that, and he heard the albums that I made, solo albums, and he loved that track so much. He said, "Can we do it at Rainbow?" So we did our version of it, kind of. And so anyway, in the end, my manager said to me, "We can make a lot of money," which meant he could make a lot of money, not me. I saw nothing from Rainbow, no money whatsoever, nothing. I spoke to Ronnie about it. I said, "Did you make much money when you were in Rainbow?" He said, "Fuck all." He said, I didn't get money. No. He said, where did your money go? I said, "My manager, where did yours go?" Manager, "What kind of a house do you have?" It's a very small house. "What kind of house do you have?" Small house. "What kind of a house did your manager have?" "Oh, tennis court, swimming pool,
2 tennis courts."
Yeah, blah 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 blah. And anyway, but I found myself in that situation, suddenly becoming this hard rock singer. But as the time went on, I began to enjoy it because it was fun. I didn't realize how much work went into, you know, hard rock tunes, because it's sort of semi-classical, you know, parts and everything, which I love. Which I thought, what a great combination, rock and roll and classical type music. You know, the way Richie played. You know, it's like Paganini or something. You know what I mean? Puccini, Paganini. Yeah. I mean, I can't think of doing anything else now. But I'd like to do. When I spoke to Jennifer, I said, it would be nice if we could do something that's, you know, a bit of R&B, semi-classical, fusion, jazz, pop. And she said, "Yeah."
Okay, let's try it.
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's. She sent me some things which I think could be really good. She sent me a couple of tracks, you know, just you know, the arrangement. So she said, "Well, what can you come up with this? You know, I'll let you know when I get back." But I think it'd be interesting to do something new. As I said, this Rainbow thing and Alcatraz thing, it's getting old now. It's time for something new. I'm getting old, you know, and I don't want to keep singing old songs. I know we have to. We have to do Since You've Been Gone Forever and All Night Long and whatever else, you know, Alcatraz tunes. But it'd be nice to do something completely new. Russ Ballard's written a new song for us. I spoke to Russ 2 years ago when we started the new Alcatraz, you know, album, which still isn't there yet. So he's written this song called Kingdom Come, and I spoke to him on the phone like every other day, saying, "Yeah, I need a piece that goes like this, and a piece that goes like this, and a section that goes into a different area, not like." Not like Since You've Been, very not like Since You've Been Gone. Or I Surrender. All right, good. Okay. And so the song now is an epic. It's let's see, 11 minutes long. It's very long. So it has lots of parts, lots of vocal parts, different harmonies, very sweet parts, very semi-classical, very rock, you know, hard stuff. So it's very, very colourful tune, and he spends a lot of time on it. And his demos, when he sends you a demo, Russ Ballard's demos are as good as the finished thing. You know, you think, well, how can I improve on that? You know, it sounds so fucking good the way it is. You know, but that's Russ. I mean, he's a perfectionist, and I love him. I've known him for so long. You know, he played on one of my albums. He played keys on some stuff, and he never got a credit for that. But he was there. But he said, "Can I play?" So he played it. Yeah. So it's a really good song. It's called Kingdom Come. So that's one title you can quote me on, and it's. I tell you what, it's a little sort of. It's got like Queen elements, and it's a little bit like that, but harder. If you can imagine, sort of a little harder, and then more sweeter stuff. It has Queen elements, but it's good. I love it. I think it's great, and I think I'm going to ask Jennifer to play around.
Do you feel more comfortable on stage or in the recording studio?
Neither. I hate it all. I have in the studio. It gets very boring because you're doing, you're doing all these little harmonies here and this and that. I like it, but sometimes after about 3 or 4 hours, I've had enough. Because back in the 60s, people used to record at night, go in at midnight and come out in the morning, like the Beatles used to, and stay in the studio all damn day. Nobody does that anymore because you don't have to. You don't have to do that. So everybody records at home, like I was saying, on Pro Tools. Everybody uses Pro Tools, so it's a lot easier. And if you feel like playing that day, you do it. You don't have to worry about studio time. Oh my God, look at the guy. Oh shit. We better get this done because this is costing us hundreds of dollars a second or whatever, So, but both of them, I've always had a fear of singing, always, all my life. Ever since I was a kid, not being good enough, and the fear of losing my voice, and feeling shy, I'm not shy at all. But when I first started, I was always very shy of people, talking to people. I didn't know what to say. But I've always had this fear of one day going, what's gone? What's happened? My voice is gone. What's happened? Which happened when I was 23 or something. And I found out I had nodes, on the vocal cords. And before I came here, I went to my doctor. I had the camera go up my nose and he said, "Oh no," he says, "No, you're good. You're fucking good. Yeah, it's good." I said, "Well, I haven't sung for like 3 months before I came over here. I've been just, doing some stuff at home, writing stuff, and so I hadn't sung properly for 3 months." So I said, "Am I going to be okay?" And he said, "Yeah, but you haven't used your voice very much, have you?" I said, "No, I haven't. No." So he said, "I'll take it very easily at first. When you start rehearsing," he said, "Don't gallop, canter. Take it like a racehorse, because if you sing like you sing," he said, "you'll fuck your voice up." He said, you'll sound like a frog." So that's what I did in rehearsal. I didn't sing very much. Sang, quietly, head voice instead of here. But I've always had a fear of singing, and it still scares me now. I always worry if the first song goes good, and I can feel that there's something there. The air, I'm breathing properly. It's all about breathing. It's not necessarily here. It's all from here, and as long as you can support that note and get vibrato and things. So in the first song I test. Let me see my voice. Yeah. Oh yes. And if the first song goes good, then the rest of the show will be okay. The first song goes crappy. Then it's like, oh fuck. Can I go? Can I go now? And it happens. I'm not a machine. Nobody is. Maria Callas, one of the greatest opera singers ever, she had a fear of one note. It was the D, a note D. And every time she came to hit a D, a high D, she couldn't do it because it was in her head that she couldn't do it. And she would stop and say, "I'm sorry, I'll have to start again." And she would start the song again. Diva, That's where diva came from, the original diva. But she played. I remember watching her from. It was a live show coming from the Albert Hall in London, and she did put about 3 songs, and she just stopped, and she said, "I can't sing anymore. My voice isn't good enough to sing for you. It's not good enough. I won't use it." And she just walked off. Which Well, yeah, rock. That's rock and roll. You know, in the middle of a fucking great big, thousands of people, millions of people watching her on TV. Maria Callas comes, to England to play the album. Well, big fucking deal, And she just said, I can't sing anymore. I only sing if I can sing beautifully, and if I can't sing beautifully, which is I mean, I wish I could do that, but with the rock and roll audience, you have to keep going. So you can't kind of stop. You have to fight through it, even if you're going. Okay, I've forgotten what we're talking about now. I've lost the thread. Anyway, that was a bit of a long answer, wasn't it?
Yes, but you know that your style is very, very distinctive. I mean, along the years we can find people that sing like Joy, maybe like Ronnie, but like Graham Bonnet is very hard to find a singer that tries to compare with your style. You know it. Maybe some Japanese band.
There's a lot of,
they had a singer that.
They go, I know. I've met some of those guys.
Yes.
I met one guy. He's got his hair bleached blonde like this.
This is strange because many of the Anthem and I don't know, and maybe Concerto Moon, have a singer that is
similar.
Yeah. That's the only band that.
But that's a compliment because that means they're emulating what I do, which is a real compliment. And because I always wanted to sing like Little Richard. He was my hero. I've never met him, but my keyboard player did a session with him. And I always wanted to sing like him, but I could never get that rough voice, that edge that he had. Because I was a kid, I was 10 or 11 or something. I could sing sweetly, but I could never sing like him. And so I listened to a lot of like Ronettes or girl bands, like the Beatles did. So we did a lot of girl songs. The bands back then, like the Beatles did. Oh God, so many Shirelles or whatever songs. But there was always elements of other people. I liked lots of different kinds of people. I liked Mario Lanza as a singer. He was in the movies and everything. And I thought, what a fucking voice, And so when I was a little kid, that was who I used to sing like. I tried to. I couldn't sing like him, obviously, but he was one of my heroes, But he was never taken seriously, really, because he was in movies. He was just an actor who sang, But he wasn't. He was a singer who couldn't act very well, really. But he had a great voice, and I think he was very, very underrated, as a singer. I think his voice is amazing,
Okay. We need to do an institutional for the radio show. Is that okay? I'll show you.
Just one thing more. One thing more. There's a story, I don't know if it's true, that before Donington, you have long hair, and before the show you cut it off. Is it true?
Yeah, that's in. It was in Sheffield. It was another gig.
Another gig. That Richie asked you, okay, leave your hair, and you appear with he wants to kill you.
I was with my wife and my ex-wife. I've been divorced now for 2 years, unfortunately. We were walking around Sheffield, and I said, my fucking hair is... because we've been on the road for so long, it was getting all over my ears, and getting on my nose.
You're not used to it.
No. And so I said, there's a barber shop here. Okay, go rent a haircut. It'll take them 5 minutes. So she came in with me. She said, Richie's going to get pissed off with you. I said, why? She said, he's like, and he hadn't seen me all day. And so the only time he saw me was in the first song. We're walking on stage, and he goes,
what's your...
And he walked behind these marshals and hid for a second. and the band, all the other guys they just laughed their asses. They thought it was so funny that he was pissed off about my hair. And next day, there was a band meeting. Can you believe this? and so I said to Koji, I said, what the fuck is this all about? He said, I don't know. He said, it's something really stupid. I said, I can't think what it is. And we got into the... And Richie has to go to his room, and so we all went to... what's happening? And he said, well, it's Graham's hair. I said, but he had it cut. band? Yeah. And everybody just cracked up. Everybody got, come on! You know. So yeah, it's a true story. Yeah.
Okay.
But the band just always sound funny, and they said, Graham, don't ever go here, whatever you do, you know.
Did you really enjoy that time?
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, Richie and I, we got on very, very well. We all did, you know. It was a great lineup, you know. And when Cozy left the band, it was a bummer, you know. After Castle Donington, it was sad, you know, sad to see him go. And then, of course, we know that we lost him forever, you know.
And with all the institutional players that you, guitars especially, that you worked in the past, which was that you say, okay, this is a genius that left Richie, Michael Schenker, Christian Pelletieri, Vey, you work with Ingui.
Well, they're all so different. It's very hard to really say, you know, because I love Steve Vai's playing very much.
Impressed you from the very first time.
Yeah, because he was nothing like the other guys. He wasn't copying, you know, like Jimi Hendrix style or Richie Blackmore style. You know what I mean? He was completely divorced from that because he'd been playing with Frank Zappa. You know, he was very, I don't know, just skilled in so many different ways. And he didn't think he was right for the band for Alcatraz because he thought he was not heavy enough or whatever. And he said, you know, I can't play like Ingve, I don't play like that. No, you play like Steve Vai. You are Steve Vai, you're not Ingve Malmsteen. I'm not Ingve Malmsteen, I'm Graham. You're Steve, and you play fucking great. And the very first gig we did, I remember the crowd just went, yeah! Suddenly Steve Vai was gone. but I love all the players I've worked with. I've been very, very lucky. They're all so different, but also fucking great. You know, and it's a pleasure to find a good guitar player who has good chord structure, you know, structures to work melodies, you know, around and stories for a song. You know, that's why I like Jennifer. You know, she's got great ideas. She's very
yes. You have to took her for a job.
She's great. I mean, she has the same ideas I do. Like Steve. Go a little bit, you know, take a left turn. Don't go the obvious way. What was that? You know.
Yes, and it's the same with the lyrics. When you read the lyrics from Alcatraz, especially, it's not quite the rock, the conventional rock lyrics.
No. I made a point of not doing that. I made a point of reporting a real story. Or an imaginary story, but in real, not about dragons, not about dungeons, not about the devil and all that.
The sword.
Which is, you know, to me that it doesn't mean anything to me. You know, I like some of the things. I like one of my favourite songs of Ronnie's is Stargazer. I love that. I think that's great. But it is mystical and you know all that. But for me, it wasn't the way to make up, you know, words. I like to report a real story, you know. So take from real life, you know.
I was surprised about the lyrics of Krinakuri.
Yeah.
Because I at the first I never understand the lyrics of that.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with that idea?
Watching TV.
Just like that.
Yeah, it was a show on about South America. About this. Tribe of people that they'd found in the middle of nowhere, and they saw them. Some people had photographed them from a helicopter, and they judged by the shadows on the ground of these guys standing there looking out like this. They judged that they were possibly almost 7 feet tall, very, very tall and very thin. You know, and this documentary was where they went into the jungle, into the Brazilian jungle, and they found them. And they were tall, and they'd never seen a white guy before. And they were like, what is this, you know? And the camera, they started taking pictures of them. And so it was taking their soul. They thought that because they could see a picture of themselves, that they were being taken by this machine. They'd taken part of their body. And so that's what it's about. It's about the white guy flying in there and fucking up these poor people's lives, you know, with these flying machines which they'd never seen before, because they were living in a different time. They hadn't changed for like millions of years apparently, but they were tall and just they just were amazing. And it was about 1970 something that documentary came out, and I think it's called Kreer Nakori, K-R-E-E-R. Yeah, I changed it. I just put Kreer Nakori, you know. But it's interesting. If you ever look on a website about Kreer Nakori, you can find out who they are. But they were very tall tribal people. So it's a true story.
Okay, would you introduce that song for my show, for my radio show?
What? what song?
This is the show.
Oh, shit. You want me to read? Oh God.
Es el noticiero, that's only that part, because the other one would be very complicated.
So I say noticiero.
That's it.
Just noticiero.
Yes.
Just that.
Yes.
And Kreer Nakori.
Yes.
Hi, you're listening to Noticiero, and this is a track from Alcatraz, and it's called Kreer Nakori.
Absolutely.
And my Spanish is, she's not good.
No problem.
It's fucking awful, in fact. And it's so funny, you're living in LA, and a lot of my friends are Spanish, obviously. It's so funny.
And you didn't have the opportunity to learn a little bit?
No, my daughter, my eldest daughter, she started to learn a bit of Spanish, but